Hey, thank you for clicking on my video. I have a great show planned for you today here. I'm going to be talking about inflation in America here on the Vibes by Clyde. To preview the vibes, I have a main event coming up at the end of the show where I'm going to talk about how inflation never ends in America. But first, I have funny vibes where I'm going to talk about how everything costs about $20 or $30 everywhere you go. Then I have some gloomy vibes where I'm going to talk about how everything's expensive everywhere you go. And then I have some real vibes where I'm going to talk about how inflation is rising very fast. And then we have some boss up vibes where I'm going to talk about how you, yes, you, need to stop being lazy out here on the Vibes by Clyde. Also, I have some extra vibes where I'm going to talk about how inflation is going to look in about 30 years. Hey, I am the main event in the whole freaking show. I do everything. I put the videos together, I find the videos, and I do the slides here. So, hey, make sure you support your boy here. I am going to entertain you for your commute to work. I can also entertain you for your shift at work, maybe even your leisure time. Maybe you're working out or studying. Just turn me on and you can listen to me for the whole time. So, hey, just get strapped up and be ready because it's going to be a long show. All right, I'm going to preview the main event here where I'm going to let you just hear a little bit about what we're going to talk about at the end of the show for the main
What if
event.
inflation never goes back down? Prices go up and never seem to come back down. Even when headlines say inflation's cooling, your grocery bill doesn't. A chocolate bar that cost 30 cents in the 1980s now sells for over $1. Fries that were 50 cents, a few dollars today.
All right. Yep. So that's what we're going to talk about for the main event. We're just going to talk about how prices will never, well, they're asking, will prices ever drop? you know? So we're going to get really into that. So first, we are going to start with funny vibes. We're going to talk about how inflation is going to look for fast food. Oops. how inflation is going to look for fast food in 2090. All right. Now, I don't know about you, but I love some fast food every once in a while, sparingly. I like to not I like to eat fast food every once in a while, okay? It's good for special occasions or if I'm just bored or poor or broke. Poor and broke, same thing, pretty much. But hey, if you eat fast food too much, you are going to know that it's going to mess your stomach up about 2 hours after you're done eating it, and you're going to get the bubble guts. That's if you. Okay, that's maybe because I don't eat fast food as much as I used to. Hey, if you're used to eating fast food, you're probably not. You probably just think that's how it's supposed to feel, you know. But anyway, like, well, my stomach always hurts after I eat food, So we're gonna talk about, but we're gonna talk about how inflation is gonna look in 2090 because hey, I thought that fast food was supposed to be a cheap and fast, unhealthy alternative for regular food, obviously. But it's becoming a luxury nowadays. You try to go to a fast food place, think you're going to save yourself some bucks, and it ends up being a lot of money. And you're just like, what happened? It's supposed to be something cheap. you know? You go through that drive through line, 5 minutes later, you're down, like we said, and like we're going to talk about later, you're down $30. And you're like, this is fast food. How did I spend $30 here? you know? So we're gonna talk about that a little bit more. All right, so let's see this guy's point of view of inflation in 2090 when going through the fast food line.
Burger.
Okay, is that gonna be offered today?
Yeah, it's gonna be offered today.
All right, it's gonna be $378.19.
Well, actually, I don't need the cheese. You can take the cheese off.
No cheese?
Yeah, let's do no cheese. No cheese.
All right, that brings your total down to $312.17.
That sounds better. That sounds better.
All right, and are you gonna be paying in full or will you be financing?
Yeah, I'll be financing today.
Okay.
Let's do the finance.
All right, and after interest, your total will be $61 a month for 6 months.
All right.
First window, please. Thank you.
Yes, $61 a month for 6 months is egregious. I hope it does not end up like that. But the way fast food is going and how much is becoming a luxury here in America, hey, we might see a place where we are really paying top dollar for something that's supposed to be cheap, fast, and unhealthy. We're going to be paying a really pretty penny for this stuff pretty soon here. And it's not going to be a cheap alternative soon. Right now, it already feels like a luxury. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm breaking the bank every time I go. I'm like, you know what? I might as well buy something that's healthy or something that's at a nice place, you know, at this point, because I'm already spending way more than I thought I would or way more than I used to. All right. So somebody says, it's all a joke until it's not. Yes, now that's true. It's all hee hee ha ha now. But I'm pretty sure we're all feeling the pain here. You think you're going to save some money? Maybe you're a little bit low on funds and you're like, I got to get through the rest of the week with a little bit of money. And you're like, you know what? Fast food is going to save the day. And then you look at your bank account after you're done eating fast food and it's all the way down. You're in the negative. Maybe you're even overdrafted and you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Somebody says the dollar menu goes to the $100 menu. Yeah. RIP to the dollar menu. I don't know how many people are alive in my chat, right? Who were not alive. I don't know how many people were alive when we had the dollar menu, but I remember I used to go to college. Well, when I was in college, I remember I used to get me two McChickens and one cheeseburger, and they used to cost me like $3, and I was fine with that, you know. Bubble guts and all. I'm like, you know what? I know it's gonna cost me bubble guts, but it's also gonna cost me about $3 or $4. And that works. All right. Somebody says not financing a burger. Yes, we're going to be financing food soon. And that's going to be ridiculous because I already ate it. You know, it's gone. I forgot about it. As soon as I ate it, I already forgot about it. You know, so for you to still feel that 6 months down the line, still paying the same thing, and that's one day for one meal. If you're like, how many times are you doing that? That's $61 plus another 12, you know, $50. They're going to be on payment plans for everything. I wouldn't be surprised if McDonald's had a subscription. You know, hey, you pay us, what is it, like $100 a month, and you can get unlimited McDonald's. Now that's going to be crazy, but also very unhealthy. Because if I'm paying McDonald's $100 a month, I'm going to get my $100 a month worth. That means I'm getting McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and my bubble guts are going to be all crazy. I'm going to come to work like, yeah, I'm going to need the bathroom as soon as I clock in. Like, where is it at? All right. So somebody says Bitcoin should be replacing the flat currency. Okay. Well, I mean, look, I don't know much about Bitcoin. I should know because maybe that's how I can boss up. But hey, I'm going to admit I don't know much about Bitcoin right now. But it's looking like we're going towards a cashless society. So possibly that's something that we might be looking forward to in the future here. All right, somebody else says, I can only imagine how much that truck cost you in 2090. Oh yeah, that was a nice truck. Yeah, yeah, that probably cost that he probably had to sell some of his he probably had to sell his kidney or something at that point. Yeah, because a burger, yeah, that a burger for what did they say? 378.99. Also in the future, just to let you know, we won't be having 99 cents. Okay. They already stopped making pennies. Okay. So I doubt we'll be seeing anything looking like 99 cents after about 5 years. You won't see any odd numbers. Soon it'll be like 95 or 65 or 75, but no more 99s. Okay. I don't even know where most of my pennies are anymore. I'm doing this one thing now where I'm starting to buy food with cash. Okay. Because going, I'm buying too much food. I'm buying too much food. Also, it's too easy to buy DoorDash and what is it called? Uber Eats. It's too easy. It's too easy. So I was like, you know what? I gotta set myself a budget. Okay. So what I did was I take out cash every 2 weeks when I get paid, and I'm like, this is my food budget. Okay, I can't go over this food budget because it's too easy for me to go in the store and just buy a ton of food and be like, you know what? Because when you in the store and you hungry and you see that food right there, you like, I don't care how much it costs, just put it in my belly, you know, and that can mess up your money because yeah, food gonna cost you a lot of money, and then they turn it around for that tip, you know. Also, when you do cash, they don't turn the screen around for that tip, you know. They already know you're not about the tip. Once I pull out the cash, they're like, ah, here come this guy. We know he's not gonna tip. But no, no, no. I'm only talking about those, places where you're not really supposed to tip at, like, like places where you, buy a coffee or buy a smoothie, or maybe like even a fast food place are starting to get these little tip things. So like I'm talking about those. I actually do tip very well for people who I need to tip, who people I'm supposed to tip, you know, but just not these little fast food places. Especially when I travel. When I travel, I tip like a king. I'm like, hey, You get money, everybody gets money. I'm like, I want y'all to remember me next time when I come. I want y'all to be like, hey, here come this guy. Anyway, so somebody else says, bro should be walking. If it costs that much for a cheeseburger, ain't no way you got money for gas. Ain't that the truth? Because, hey, gas is already expensive now, and I can only imagine it going up in the future. All right, so, hey, here's this guy's name. Make sure you drop him a follow, or maybe like his content if you do. And hey, let him know. You came here from Clyde sent you. Hey, Clyde sent you, man. I have him on my show. And hey, why don't you take a look at his show so you can see what he's talking about you for? Hey, it's only good vibes here, though. I'm only sending good vibes out. All right. So anyway, only good vibes here on the Vibes by Clyde, by the way. Okay. We only sending good vibes. All right. So also we have another point where I'm going to talk about how, yeah, payment plans are going to be for everything. I don't know about you, but I have seen Affirm on Walmart purchases things for as little as like $50. I'm like, $50 for Affirm? You want me to pay on Affirm for $50? You think I don't have $50 Walmart? But yeah, also, I mean, but hey, I can imagine how life is getting hard for everybody and how $50 can be a lot for some people. And they're like, oh my God, yes, I do need this, but I also can't pay it now. So yes, give me that Affirm. $50. Yes, I will do it. And just know you're definitely paying more than what you should be when you do these things. So you should kind of keep that in your back of your brain. Like, hey, you're not getting a good deal. Okay. You're paying a little bit more than you're supposed to be paying. And if you don't pay it off, you're going to mess up your credit. So, hey, you can't really win there unless you just pay it off one time. Or if you just save up enough to buy the whole thing right off. But I understand people don't have a lot of money at once, which is why we have credit cards and things like that that are sucking people dry. All right. So, next, we're going to talk about how fast food used to be cheap. And hey, like I said, I remember when fast food used to be cheap and I miss those days. I'm just kind of mad that I took advantage of it. Man, well actually I think I took pretty good advantage of it because I used to buy a lot of fast food when I was in college because that was pretty much the only way I was going to survive college. Okay. If you're a college student right now, hey, fast food is the life when you're in college, okay? It's either that or ramen noodles. All right. But ramen noodles is not going to give you the energy that you need to walk to all of your classes and to study for all of your classes and to, you know, go to your classes and to do good in your classes. So, hey, I'm just saying, you got to take the good with the bad. you know, it's trade-offs. You can't really win everywhere. You're going to lose somewhere. All right. So here we have some Taco Bell prices. Now, I don't like Taco Bell that much, okay? I'm not really a fan of Taco Bell as much because if I'm going to get a burrito, I'm just going to go to Chipotle, okay? But anyway, I'm just going to say that to say I do know Taco Bell is very cheap though. So I have went there a few times just because I know, hey, them prices about to be looking good, okay? So, hey, please let me know if I'm wrong, but those Taco Bell prices used to be looking really nice out here. If I'm really price shopping, then I'm price shopping at Taco Bell because if you got like $3, $4, you're pretty good. You all right, $3, $4 at Taco Bell. I used to love that. Now I don't know how it is now because I haven't gone to Taco Bell in quite a while. I do every once in a while hit them up for those fries, but that's probably been like a year or two ago because But those fries are good though. I go to Taco Bell for fries. Yes, I do. And a taco on the side. Also, I'm just a big fry guy. I just love fries. I don't know about you, but fries are the best. All right, let's see what he got to say. Oh, wait, I forgot to unmute it. See, I'm still making rookie mistakes here. All right, let's see. He says 2014 Taco Bell. Okay, let's see.
2014 Taco Bell menu in my comments in the last video. And at this point, I'm just going down memory lane. Because I don't think y'all hear me when I say that fast food used to be convenient. You used to be able to get a cheap meal with a slight side of bubble guts. Oh, you dragging it. They keep dragging the prices up. What you want me to do? I used to love going to Taco Bell late at night. My back used to be so big pulling through that drive-through line, all you see from the back was head and shoulders. But I ate good for only a few dollars. When I see this menu, all I see is pure bliss. All I see is the remnants of a lost civilization way back when the dinosaurs used to roam free. And you see that $5 box in the corner there? I want you to brace for what I'm about to show you next. $10. Almost 10 years ago. That's 100% increase for almost the same meal. And that's still considered a good deal. Now I want you to imagine if we keep that rate up, or even close to it. Spooky. Someone put a picture of
Yeah, this is why we need to boss up, okay? We need to we need to boss up, okay? Hey, because these prices are not going down, man. He says, imagine if this keeps going at this price, at this level, 100% every 10 years. Okay, so in 2025, these what's it called? This Taco Bell box is $10. Now in 2035, this Taco Bell box is gonna be $15. And then in 45, it's gonna be $40. I don't know if I got that right. I'm guessing. No. Actually, if it doubled in price, then that means it's gonna be $20 in 2050, 2035. Now that sounds crazy now, but hey, watch when we get there. We're gonna be like, oh, this is cheap, only $25. you know, that's the bad part where, your standards kind of change. But hey, they kind of got us by the short hairs here. Like, what are you really going to do when the prices go up? You still need to eat some fast food. All right. I'm not saying you need to, but some people are going to feel like they need to eat fast food because maybe that's the only thing in their area, or maybe that's the only thing they can afford. If fast food is expensive, then that means everything's going to be expensive. All right. So yeah, they used to have a dollar menu, but that dollar menu really went to a $5 menu. So yeah, I think they call it the value meal deal, and you're like, no, I see what you're doing here. This is not this is not a value meal deal. This value meal deal used to be the dollar menu. Stop playing with me. Stop trying to make me feel like I'm crazy. I know I'm not crazy. All right. So yeah, but it used to be cheap, but now it's like a special occasion thing, It's a special occasion to get bubble guts after some fast food, It's like, you know, oh yeah, that's what I talked about. I said I put a college meal, 2 McChickens, 1 cheeseburger, almost $4. And I thought I was killing the game there. I was loving life at that point. Cause it was like one of the best cheap alternatives for food, It's it's kind of hard to find cheaper alternatives for food when fast food is the cheapest thing and it's also still expensive. You're like, what is going on here? Fast food, you're supposed to be my saving grace. You're supposed to be the thing that made me feel like I wasn't wasting all my money on food. you know? So yeah. But yeah, now you have 2 people, y'all get some food, and hey, that's at two almost $20 just for one meal. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get some food for yourself, it's gonna cost you about $20. You go to Burger King, it's gonna cost you like $20 just to go to Burger King. You're gonna be like, what in the world, man? You used to be my safe place, you know? You pull up to a drive through with, less than $10. You're like, I should be fine. You feel safe, you know? Now you pull up to the drive through with less than $10 and you're like, wait a minute, hold on. I need to make sure I'm good. Nobody wants to get into a fast food line and be like, yeah, can I take this off the menu? I thought it was gonna be cheaper. You're gonna look super cheap, and you better hope that the cashier's not. You better hope that you don't got a good looking cashier, because you're gonna be like, man, you're definitely not getting that number. By the way,
Hey sir, how much is it for all of this?
so
For you, my friend,
yeah,
a
you're like,
dollar.
man.
And have this.
So are you the person that said you didn't want the cheese on the burger because it's gonna be extra
Hey sir, how much
extra
is it for
dollar?
all of this?
Yes, I did. I absolutely did. Don't try to ask for a number. Don't, because you're gonna be like, bro, no, you can't afford an extra dollar for cheese. No. You shouldn't be out here dating with your broke ass. Get your money up and then come back out here. Okay, you can come back. Okay, when you can afford cheese. Okay, because ain't about to happen, bro. And rightly so. Okay, so I'm not even at this point. I'm not on your side, bro. I'm sorry. Because what are you doing? All right. So now we have another TikTok video. We have a guy here. Let's see if we can find it. He says, going to the corner store back then. Now, hey, I remember I used to go to the corner store all the time. Okay, I'm from Philly. Okay, we had nothing but corner stores on every corner, and like I said, you can get like four things for $1, two two cakes, some chips, and a hug. Okay, I remember those days as clear as day. I mean, I used to love going there. You go there with your $1 or $2, you feel confident. I can get whatever I want. The whole store was yours. I'm an adult now. I'm an adult and I don't feel like I can get whatever I want with $1. I don't feel like I can get whatever I want with $5 or $10. I go in there with $5 or $10 and I'm like, wait, I might need more. I need backup. I need backup. This is why I use a card, okay? Because you don't want to be out here trying to put stuff back for $2. Hey, I thought that was going to be $2, but actually $3.25 or $4. I'm going to just take that off. Can you take that off? Yeah, I can't afford that. I'm not about to pay for that, okay? I nowadays I think I can't estimate how much things cost. I think things used to be a lot more obvious when I was younger, or even like just I don't know a decade ago. I used to go to the store and pretty much have a general idea of how much I was going to spend, how much things cost. But now I go in the store and I'm like, dude, like this is just what are you talking about? I just went in the store today. I used to get this good hairspray that I love. I swear, it used to be $5 or $6. I went in there, it was eight. What was it? It was like $8.90. I was like, wasn't this just $8 or $9? I mean, wasn't this just $5 or $6? I bought this like I gotta buy it every like 2 or 3 weeks or so. But I'm like, I swear it was not. It wasn't over $7 for sure. I know it wasn't. How you go from $7, not over $7, to almost $9 within like a month? I'm like, it just makes you feel crazy. Like you're like, am I losing it? Like I'm starting to think that they purposely target me. Like they're watching me on the cameras and they're watching what I buy. And they're like, okay, you bought that? Okay. They're marking it down their checklist. Okay. What else did you buy? Okay. Check. Oh, that's what else. Okay. All right. Put the price up on those things. Like they just see me coming. Or they just check on the computers like, okay, somebody bought this, that, and the third. All right. Price up, up, and up. I just feel personally attacked every time I go to a store and things are more expensive, especially in a short amount of time. But yeah, we're going to talk about more of that in our real vibes. We're going to talk about how inflation is just rising so fast. All right, so let's get back on topic. Okay, well, hey, this is the whole show. Okay, my rants are the show. Okay, the videos are the show. My rants are the show. The main event is the show. Boss Up Vibes is the show. It's all the show. It's all the vibes by Clyde. And hey, let's get on it. All right, so let's watch this video. It says, going to the corner store back then. Okay.
For you.
Okay, I know for a fact it's not on mute, so
Hey,
I'm
sir,
gonna
how much
just
is it
talk.
for
All right, let's do it.
all this? For you, my friend, $1.
And have this on the house.
Yippee! Hello, sir. My mommy just lost her job and got into a divorce with my dad. How much can I get with this?
Oh, I got you, man. $1 a sandwich. Right here. Boom! Don't you ever come in here with that shit ever again. Broke ass motherfucker coming in here with $1. And put your tongue back in your mouth while I put something in there.
Oh wait, hey, see, I didn't preview the whole video. Okay, I didn't I didn't hear that last part. Okay, all right, yeah, but that's how I feel when I go to a store now. Even as an adult, you would think as an adult you would feel safe and like ready to go into a corner store, one of these little dollar stores, one of these little, you know, simple stores. Not I'm not going to a Target. I'm not going to nowhere. I'm not going to no name brand store. I'm not going to anywhere that's like obviously expensive. I'm just going to a regular store. You know, you thinking I can afford anything in here. Not anymore. You're like you go in there. You're thinking I'm going to spend a little bit of money. You come out and you spend almost $50, and you're like, what just happened? Did I just get robbed? I thought I bought four things. Didn't I buy four things? I bought four things and it cost me $50. Like, what did I do in there? Like, did they rob me in there? Did somebody take my money? Like, what is going on? Anyway, here's this guy's name. He's pretty funny on here. He has this video on here. It's titled, actually, I don't know the title. The title's not in the what's the name? It says, oh, here it is. Inflation makes even the friendliest cashiers switch up. Okay, that's what it's called. Okay. All right, yeah. So, anyway, it says cashiers be hating for real. Now, how do cashier hating? I don't get that one. It says, "Will I be broke every time I want a bag of chips?" Right. Yeah, like a bag of chips costs you like $2.50. Sometimes $3, yo. And you're like, it's a bag of chips for the love of God. Hey, maybe I'm just broke. Hey, this is why I need to boss up because I'm complaining about a bag of chips costing $3. This is why, hey, I need to boss up too. It's not just you. You need to boss up and I need to boss up. We both need to boss up. Hey, you know? And then I won't be on here complaining about a $3 bag of chips. Okay? Maybe I'll complain about something else. Man, this $300, this maybe I'll be complaining about this $300,000 car that I want. Hopefully I'm complaining about stuff like that. Bigger problems, not small people problems, not broke people problems. These are broke people problems, by the way. Also, it's not healthy. It's not doing anything for you. And if anything, it's just making you full for a certain amount of time, or making you just hungry, hungry, or more thirsty. Like that's why I don't like chips. Make me more hungry. I don't know if that even makes sense, but after I eat a bag of chips, I'm actually more hungry than I was before. If I feel like it's like an exercise, like chewing gum. You chew gum for a long time. Eventually, you're just gonna get hungry. you know, you're like, why am I so hungry all of a sudden? Because you were teasing. You were teasing. You're teasing your jaw the whole time. It was thinking about to chew some food and swallow some food, but now it's just swallow and spit. Okay, no homo. All right. Anyway, so it says, I'm sorry, no Diddy. We can't say that anymore. So no Diddy. All right. So it says, I want to buy. I want to say a big thanks to Jason for a productive week, and I'm okay, and I'm able to easily clear my bill. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Okay, maybe that's something I have no idea about. Let's see what this one. See, this is why I need to preview comments before I read them. Anybody got time for that? Anyway, it says, I went to the store. Okay, I see. I gotta read it on here. It says, I went to the store. I went to a lot as a kid. 5 years later, they noticed me and I wanted to buy something and something was off. The original owner wasn't there. So they told us he died of Oh, wow. Goodness gracious. That turned terrible. That this is why I need to preview the comments before I read them. I thought that was going to be about the prices. They're talking about the cancer. I mean, the owner dying of cancer. Oh, my God. R.I.P. to that man. Hey, I've I have a lot of stores that I used to go to when I was little, but hey, most of those stores they're owned by different people now. I don't know what happened to those people. I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask and find out something like that. I'm gonna be like, no, not my favorite corner store guy. Because hey, when you're a kid, you have favorite fast food, and you have favorite people. And they know you. They know you. If you're a good kid, not one of those kids that steal. Okay, not gonna say I didn't steal when I was little. I did. I probably stole one of those cakes or two when I was little, but I was also terrified, and I was probably coerced into doing it because I've been a square man. I'm always trying to play by the rules. I'm not. I ain't trying to break any rules. I'm too guilty. I would just end up telling on myself. They'd be like, "Hey, you." I'd be like, "Yes, I did steal." Oh no, I'm telling you. Wait a minute, you stole? Like, man, I just told myself. All right. Yeah, so even a dollar store now is becoming the $1.25 store. I don't know if you saw that on the news, but yeah. If you are a person that frequently goes to the dollar store, you would know. And that's me because hey, you know, times are hard, okay? So dollar store is where it's at sometimes. It says bottles of water cost as much as gas. Yeah, I can see that happening. Also, yeah, there's debit cards and vending machines now. And also, not only that, but now they give you a charge also. So you can't just go to a vending machine with $1 anymore, That's no bueno. You need to at least have $5 if you're gonna go to one of these little what is it called? Vending machines. But also make sure you have a debit card because some of them don't even take dollars. They're like, I'm too bougie. I'm not gonna take your lame, your crinkled up freaking what is it called? $5 bill. I only take cards. Okay. Also, I'm gonna charge you way more than it's worth since you're buying it on your debit card. So yeah. You think $3 for a candy bar is expensive? That's how much it's gonna cost if you go to a vending machine nowadays. $3 for one of these little Snicker bars or something, because they gotta charge you the credit card swipe fee. You think you're getting away, but no. You ain't escaping these fees and you ain't escaping these taxes. Okay, so just pay up. Okay. Don't think you getting. They kind of got us. They kind of got us cornered. You know, they circled the wagon on us. They have us. They got us by the short hairs everywhere, and they don't care. You know, because hey, inflation is up for everybody. You know, it's not just up for you, the consumer. It's also probably up for the people that own the businesses. You know, you're thinking, man, I don't want to pay this extra money for this stuff, but hey, the person that owns the store is also probably paying more too, and they're probably also mad like that. They're probably looking at that like that. Who's gonna buy a candy bar for $3? Like, how am I supposed to pay in business? Ain't nobody gonna buy a candy bar for $3, and then they see you walking in with your $3 buying a candy bar, and they're like, oh, I guess people will buy a candy bar for $3. Okay, well, I guess I wasn't as bad as I thought, but really we just struggling out here, man. That was probably your last $3. You was like, okay, I'm about to go here and get me a candy bar, and it's gonna be good. No, $3.99 for a candy bar now, and you're like, man. All right, so we have this guy. Okay, this is the one I like. He says, where is it at? I gotta find TikTok. All right, so this guy, he's gonna talk about how everything costs $30 and is 20 minutes away. Now, hey, I guess that depends on where you live, because everything for me is not $20, 20 minutes away. Because I can't live that type of life. I need stuff close. Okay, I don't like driving. Okay, that much. I want to conserve gas. I'm not trying to drive 20 minutes out anywhere. Maybe this guy lives out in the middle of nowhere where everything is 20 minutes away. But I don't know. Let's watch the video and see if we can see if I can relate a little bit more, because I don't think I've seen this video before.
Everything costs $20 to $30 and everything's 20 minutes away. What are you talking about? Well, how much was the food you just ordered? About $30. And how long till it shows up? About 20 minutes. Whoa. And where are you going after this? To Kate's house. And how long does it take to get there? In today's traffic? Oh, probably 20 to 30 minutes. And how much petrol's in your car? About 20 to 30 bucks. Need I say more? Well, that's different. That's just what those type of things cost. Yeah, but it goes deeper than that, mate. I think $30 is the line that society has agreed on before something is considered a little bit too expensive. What? Actually, yeah. Like if I said to you that I'm going to a show tonight and tickets are 20 to 30 bucks, what would you say? Probably ask how far away it is. It's like 20 minutes away, not far. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. I'd be keen. Okay, now what if I told you it was $40? I'm not going. You see? Okay, I think you're onto something here, but I still don't get why you won't transfer me for the Uber last night, though. Because I'm sick of everything costing so much. Dude, it's like $20 and the guy drove us for over 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think everything costs about $20 to $30 because that's our new $5, you know. I remember like you go anywhere with $5 and you're good. You're like, okay, I got $5, I should be fine. You know? Because stuff costs about, $3 or $4, maybe $1 or $2 everywhere. But now everything costs about $10 or $15. So if you go outside with $30, you might be pretty good, you know? So hey, like you go out there and now you got $30 in your pocket, you might be pretty good. Okay. It says but it used to be $20 and 15 minutes away. Okay, now I didn't get that one. Okay, somebody else says I live in New York, everything is $100 and 30 minutes away. Okay, see with traffic now too. I kind of see where they get with that one. It says what is going on with this thing? I gotta extend it. Oh, no, I guess no, I don't. Okay. I guess that's it. Okay, so it says living in San Diego where everything is $50 and 40 minutes away. Oh no. Somebody says I haven't changed and I still think everything is $20 to $30 too much. Yeah, I do think $30 is about the limit. If I see something that's like over $30, I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's about to break my bank a little bit more than I thought. See, I bought my $30 out and I thought I was gonna be fine. You're saying it's 35. It's kind of breaking my bank now. I wasn't expecting to spend that much, bro. Somebody says I ordered $30 worth of food and it's going to take 30 minutes. Okay, see. Are we doing a new 6-7 thing here? Okay. All right, so somebody says, yep, this is the actual absolute genius. Yeah, I think everything is about $20, $30. Like you step out the house, $20, $30. But it adds up though, Because if you go out of the house 2 times, now you just spent $40 to $60, and you're like, what the heck? You're almost at $100 at this point. You need to slow down, stay in the house. Anyway, here's this guy's, here's his TikTok. So follow him, okay? All right. So we have more here on the Vibes by Clyde. The next thing we're going to talk about is where we at? Okay. Yeah. So everything costs about $20 to $30. Yeah, Yeah, like I said, $20 is the new $5. You go somewhere with $20 now, and you're like, okay, I should be good. You know, you go there and it's about $20, and you're okay. You know, but I think $30 is where it's at. If I don't have $30 before I go into a store, I'm going to go back in and make sure I have at least $30. If I look at my account and it says I got $12, I'm like, yeah, I can't go in the store. I'm about to go in the store and it says I got about, you know, $17 of free money. I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to go in the store. If I'm like, you know what, I'm only going to spend this much today. So if I have $12 left, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not. I guess I can't go to that store. Somebody else said, so it also says, yeah, at least $20 just to leave in the house. Yeah, you need at least $20 or $30 before you leave the house. If not, you about to get declined. And nothing is worse than seeing that declined, hearing that declined sound. When you're trying to check out, you didn't check it. You didn't check your balance before you left, and now you're looking broke. But really, what I do is I also just put as much money as I want to spend in the saving, and I put everything else in the other account. That way, I know exactly how much I want to spend. Because I can't see all my money. If I see all my money, I'm going to spend all my money. So I got to make sure most of my money is not in the spend account because it will get spent. It's in the spend account. It's telling me to spend that money. Like, come on. I think that's why they named it that. They're like, hey, this is your spend account. That means you need to spend this money. Spend this money. All right. So it says, people want their change back now. Yeah. I don't even know if people carry change anymore. But if they do, I'm pretty sure people count their change. Okay. They're like, hey, yeah, I need all that. I need all those pennies and everything. Give me everything. Okay. And for me, I use coin to wash my clothes. So whenever I see change, I'm like, hey, that's another load I can wash. Let me get that, Let me get all that. All right, let's see. We're gonna watch this video of a guy who is as well. It's a skit. And pretty much he's talking about how pause. Dang. Videos won't pause when you pause them now. All right, so where's it at? I think it's on maybe it's on Instagram instead. All right. So let's hear what this clip is about. It says
your total's 99 cents.
It says when inflation is getting out of control. Okay. Yeah, so hey. All right, let's see.
All right, here's $1.
All right, thank you. Do you need your change back? Do you need that
Absolutely.
1 penny back?
Absolutely.
Well, there's no more coins in the cash register, so you're gonna have to wait for my manager.
I'll wait, that's fine. I have time. I need my cent. So
All right, well, because you're broke.
it is what it is. Every penny counts.
He said it is what it is. All right, yeah, so pretty much, yeah, I'm gonna need you to run me that money back, okay? Because yeah, you think it's just $12, but I mean, you think it's just what is it called? You think it's just 1 cent, but it's my 1 cent. Okay, I might need that 1 cent. And hey, if you're at a situation where you're counting your pennies, just know you probably lost. You probably lost that life at this point. I'm sorry to tell you. I didn't want to be the one to tell you, but I guess I'm gonna have to be the one to tell you. Okay, you probably lost that life at this point because they stopped making pennies. Like I said earlier. Hey, so if you still counting pennies, man, I gotta say you're probably lost at this point. Please get your life together, man. Come on now, boss up, man. Boss up, man. Cause it's not looking too good for you out here. I'm trying to see where this thing is. All right, sorry to delay the show, people. Anyway, let's read some comments here. Let's read some comments. This is his Instagram, by the way, so make sure you follow this guy. His name is
All right, thank you.
Chancellor.
Do you need your change back?
Chancellor.
Do you need that 1
Okay.
penny back?
So it says,
Well, there's no more
hey, when people
coins
ask if
in
I
the
want my
cash
change,
register,
yes.
So you're gonna have to wait for
It's
my
mine.
manager.
It's not Walmart's change. It is my change. Bring me back my
Because
change.
you're broke.
All right, somebody says
Every
he'll be
penny
like
counts.
99 cents. Yeah. But I didn't get that one. All right, this one says, I want my penny. Many pennies are rare and worth a lot of money. Hey, pennies are probably going to become rare at some point, and they're going to be worth a lot of money. If they stop making them now in 2025, let's say 2055, 2065 if you're still alive, those are going to be some expensive pennies possibly. So hold on to your pennies, people. Get them pennies back because they stopped making them, and I don't think they're going to start again. So it says most people Most people tell me to keep the change. We are an extreme change shortage. Now, I knew that was happening during COVID. People didn't really have much change during COVID for whatever reason. I don't really know. Anyway, it says, oh, probably because the banks were closed or something. Anyway, if the store is doing this with every sale that involves a few pennies worth of your change, that can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit. Yeah, yeah. Especially when they turn your little kiosk around and they're like, hey, do you want to, what is it called? Do you want to tip? you know, would you like to tip? Would you like to donate to this service? And you're like, yeah, no. You're like, yeah, no. See, at this point, I need them to donate to me, okay? Because I'm also struggling out here. When are they going to help? This is a large corporation. You can't help me out. When are they going to turn the kiosk around and be like, hey, do you need money? I saw you just bought a whole lot of ramen noodles. Okay. Hey, we had a special deal for people who buy a lot of ramen noodles. If you buy a lot of ramen noodles, we could possibly donate money to you because you look a little broke right now. Yeah. So yeah. Self checkout always asking. Yeah. All right. So we also have yeah. So people don't have a lot of loose change anymore. I don't think anybody really has loose change. Most people have like the card. Most people have the card. Also, a lot of people are using their phones now. I don't use my phone still. I still don't use my phone because I don't feel like taking out my phone. I don't feel like doing all that. I'm like, it's easier for me just to take out my card. Like, what do I need to take out my? I feel like that's more work sometimes. It's good in those situations where you don't have your card or you left it in your car. But my card is on my phone, so I'm like, my card is in the same place as my phone. So why would I do that to my life when I could just take the card out? Anyway, it says, cashier shocked. Yeah, cashiers are shocked when you use cash. I recently started using cash, and every time I take out cash, the cashier looks at me like, really, though? You're gonna make me do extra work. You're gonna make me use my brain to count some money. Get this coins out of here. Get them out. They're looking at me like, get out of my freak. And also, yeah, like I said, they know you're not about to tip them, so they're like, man, you know what? You're wasting my time at this point, bro. All right. Yeah, so now we're going to talk about how things keep adding up in your head. Okay, I spelled this wrong. I said whale. It's supposed to say wow. Anyway, so next I'm going to talk about how things keep adding up as they're scanning your stuff on the register. You know how you go to a store, you know, you're like, okay, I'm going to buy me some stuff. You go around, you're just picking things up, throwing them in a cart, and then I know you're like, oh crap, I didn't calculate, I was in a rush. I didn't think about how much things are going to cost. I kind of took a rough estimate of what it costs. Like, okay, that's $4, whatever. Okay, that's like $6. Okay, whatever. Okay, that's like $12. But you're not thinking like, okay, 12 plus 6 plus 12. You're not thinking that. You're just thinking, okay, whatever, that's like $5. Let me get the cheaper one. That one's $4.95. Okay, I'll just get that one. Like, but then once you get to the register and it starts adding up and they're putting everything in the cart and you're just looking like, oh my God, wait a minute. What have I done? You're like, what the heck is going on? I thought that I had this thing figured out, but then you realize that you don't. You realize you really don't. All right, and you're just like, wait a minute.
That money.
Oh wait, it's not
That
playing.
money.
Oh, you know what? Anyway, it was supposed to say I need that money. I'm trying to work on my soundboard. Anyway, you're looking at the cash register like, hey man, I think I need that money. Like I think I can. I'm gonna need to take some of this stuff back. You know. It go from like 5 to 12 to 16 to 24 to 29, and you're like, oh my goodness gracious. I thought I was gonna spend $12 here. Well, not 12, but maybe I'm gonna spend $20 here. And now you're looking at the cashier and it's well over $20. Now it's at like $60, and you're like, wait, I'm about to leave with 2 small bags and I spent $60? Like, what is going on?
Oh, thank you so much.
$3.99.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to look at the screen because I don't know why they don't let you pause it like as soon as it starts. Anyway, so let's go to the next video where this guy is going to be checking out at the store, and he's like, "Wait a minute, like I bought some cheap things, or I wasn't paying attention to what I was buying, and now everything is expensive. So yeah, that's very annoying. Okay, yeah, that's very annoying when I do that. So let's see if we can play the video.
I can get that for you, sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
3.99, 33.99, 65.99, 5.99, 52.99, 43.99, 25.99, 62.99, 83.99, 154.99, 563.99, 1,399, 65.99, 5, 25, 52, 99, 43, 25, 62, 99, $2 and 83, 99, $1.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel that pain. You're just kind of looking at people behind you like, man, I'm about to embarrass myself today because I'm not about to buy any of this stuff. We about to put half of the stuff down, and you know you're annoying the crap out of the cash register at the cashier. All right, so somebody says, prices like these have cured my shopping addiction. Okay, that's good. Okay, maybe see people are showing restraint. You know, you need to make sure you show restraint out here in these stores now. You can't just be out here just throwing your cart around because you'll wake up tomorrow and you won't have enough to survive throughout the week. Because remember, fast food places aren't cheap anymore. So you might just have to starve for a few days if you spend too much at these stores nowadays. It says, yeah, you might. It says, and it will expire before you have a chance to eat it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things expire pretty fast. Somebody says, literally went to Costco yesterday and spent 300 with a $350 budget and left with $650 worth of stuff. Now that is egregious. And I'm pretty sure before COVID, maybe like 5 or 10 years ago, it probably used to be 350. Not even 10 years ago, maybe like 5 or 6, 7 years ago, it was probably 350. But now, hey, it's gonna be double that, and you're gonna feel it when you go home, and you don't have any money for the next few days, and you're trying to go to McDonald's, and hey, you can't afford it because guess what? McDonald's is not expensive. All right, I mean it's not cheap. All right, so it says, am I the only person that just doesn't really want or need anything? It says, I make good money and I can afford things, but I just don't want them. Okay, so now that's a person that's matured. Okay, starting to feel like this too now. Yeah, I mean that means that's a sign of you're maturing. Okay, I think that's what that means. I've never really wanted too many things though, just in general. You know, it's not that I don't feel like things are worth it. I just don't think I'm gonna use a lot of things. I'm just like before I get something, I'm like, am I really gonna use this thing? You know. Am I about to just waste my money out here and just waste some time because I think this is fun? Sometimes what I do is I see something that I like and I'm like, okay, if I still want it later, then I'll come back and get it. You know, if it's that serious, then I'll come back and get it. You know, most of the times I see that it's not that serious. You know, but I didn't really want it that bad. You know, if I'm still not thinking about it, it could have been that serious. But yeah, you have like mental panic when you go to these stores and you can't afford it, and you're like, oh my god, like this is embarrassing. Am I going to get declined? You know, you're trying to hurry up and sneak and check your account. Like, wait a minute, how much do I have left? See, I gotta move my money now. I gotta take my money out of my savings, put it in my checking, so I can make sure I have enough, so I don't get what's the word denied. You know, you gotta try to hurry up and do it before the cashier. But sometimes that cashier be in a rush. I'm like, what are you in a rush for? I don't have anywhere to go right now. You are going too fast. Okay, let me check my bank statement so I can put the money in my spend account. Okay, I put $30 in my spend account. I was not expecting to spend $52. Okay, I got 3 little bags. I thought it was gonna be no more than $30. Okay, it says 52 here, so I need to put some things back, or you need to give me some time to what's the word transfer my money. You know, give me a break. Take your time, man. Aren't you by the hour? Like, what are you doing? Slow down so I can check my account. Slow down so I can move my money. Okay. Excuse me. Anyway, so this one says Gloomy Vibes. Okay, now we're on Gloomy Vibes by Clyde. Okay. So we're gonna talk about how now we're gonna have some gloomy vibes, okay? Sad face. All right. So this person is gonna talk about pretty much how inflation is out of control. they're going to go on a little rant about how inflation is just destroying their life. So let's see what this is about. I haven't watched this video in quite a while. So I forgot what this video is about. So I can't really describe to you what happened in the video because I kind of forgot.
I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say that this inflation bullshit.
Okay, yeah. So I accidentally played the video before I clicked on it. Still making rookie mistakes, man. Still making rookie mistakes out here. Yeah. Still making rookie mistakes. Yeah, but I just know for me, like okay. I know for me, hey, I try to make sure I have enough to before I go in the store so that I'm not like wasting too much money on, dumb stuff. But anyway, let's get into this rant that I accidentally played. You heard a little bit of it because I wasn't paying attention. I forgot to mute it. All right, so let's hear what she had to say. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say that this inflation bullshit is getting out of fucking control, okay? Rent and home buying and all that is another fucking beast of its own. But going to a fucking Taco Bell and paying $30 for 2 people to eat is actually insane. And I'm not even ordering what I really, really want. I'm getting like maybe 3 items and a drink. And I'm talking one of those items as a side, okay? And yes, I have the app, and yes, I get rewards, but it's the principle that if you go to a fucking McDonald's and a fish fillet is fucking $5, $6, like when did we get here? When did we get here? Help, when did we get here? I just went and double checked the app. A McChicken is $3.29. Why are we letting our country fuck us like this? We need to do something. I can't take it anymore.
Oh my God, that's a bad picture. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, that is kind of annoying though, because you're trying to save money and you're like, yeah, I guess I can't. I guess this is not a cheap option anymore, you know. But a lot of the regular restaurants are catching up now. So I think what I'm starting to see now is regular restaurants are starting to price at or near fast food prices, or sometimes even lower than fast food prices. So I think they're trying to undercut these fast food places because I know a couple good places that sell burgers and fries and drinks for like $12. And you're like, what? An actual real burger, actual real fries? Not this fast food $5 stuff. I can actually get a burger that was on a grill and not in a microwave for $12 instead of going to Burger King. Well, I want to out any stores. I do like Burger King, by the way. But yeah, yeah. So I don't have to go to one of these fast food places to get a decent meal, a decent burger. And I'm a burger guy. I love burgers, man. I can eat burgers every day. Not the same burger, like different burgers, like a Burger King burger, a McDonald's burger, a Five Guys burger, maybe a restaurant burger. Like I can eat burgers every day, all day if I had to. So hey, I just had to put that out there. That's my specialty right there. Somebody says, if I see my McChicken went from $2.69 to $3, you said I will McClose it. Yeah. Yeah, but they used to be $1 though. So they went from $1 to over $3. That is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, McChicken used to be on the dollar menu. So I mean, to people who remember the dollar menu, that's gonna really make you mad. you know? And also they're not getting any bigger. They're like small, little small sandwiches. They barely fill you up, which is why I used to get 3 of them. So yeah. Somebody says, my large sweet tea at McDonald's used to be $1 and now it's 1.59. Okay, well, I mean that's not as bad as $1 to 3.69. Somebody says I went to a thrift store today and got a shirt, and my shirt sleeve button down were over $10 each. Some 15 at a thrift store. We left. Yeah, you went to a thrift store and it cost like $15 for a shirt. You're like, well, I could have got a new shirt. What are you talking about? Somebody already used this shirt. I can still see the underarms on this shirt. I still see the underarm stain on the bottom on this shirt. And you want to sell me this shirt for $15? I came here for a deal, man. You know, like a lot of these places that we used to go to that we thought were cheap are not cheap anymore. They really aren't. You know, and then also you see places that are supposed to be like the value for things are just really messed up now. Like I said, you can get a decent burger at a decent restaurant for like $12, but you can also get a a burger that took 5 minutes to make in a microwave, you know, with way less quality for like $15, $16, At this point, like I just think that I think that the market's readjusting. People trying to see how much they can get it. People trying to see how much people going to pay for stuff out here. They're like, hey, if you're gonna pay for it, I'm gonna keep selling it for that much. So like, hey, I don't think they care about you know volume. I think they care about you know profit. Not they're not thinking about okay, maybe we can sell a whole bunch of these things for really cheap. No, they're thinking about hey, I want to sell these things as expensive as possible, as much as I can get out of these people as possible. And I don't care how much it's going to cost them. I don't care if only rich people can afford these burgers. I don't care. I guess I'll just have rich people shopping at my burger spot. you know. So yeah, somebody says, and the only reason the app is cheaper is because they sell your information for your money. Yeah, so you get a discount because they buying some of your information. Just know that. Just know that. So when you get all these random calls, especially if you put your phone number into these apps, just know you about to get random calls. Just know you about to get random text messages. If you put your address in, just know you about to get bulk mail. If you put your email in, just know you about to get a whole bunch of spam. That's all they want to do is fill your phone, your email, your mailbox up with spam. I'm not talking about the food. I'm talking about spam, like unnecessary, unimportant stuff. Now, if that's something that you like, if you want some coupons from McDonald's in your mailbox, this could be good for you. So yeah, somebody says there's no award for eating Taco Bell, but yes, the prices are crazy. Well, I guess that person don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I do like rewards though. Some of my favorite places, well, one of my favorite places got rewards. I'm trying not to name drop, but I have one place that I go every morning that I love so much. Oh my god, I love it. But yeah, they have awards, and every time I get food there, I get rewards. And every once in a while, I get my free thing, and you feel good about it. You feel like you kind of got a part of the gist that you kind of cheat the system there. It was worth it. And really, you were just buying too much from that store. All right, so yeah, sometimes you gotta do mental gymnastics just to buy cereal. Sometimes you be like, wait a minute, am I gonna be able to afford this? Let me see if I can move this money here, move this money into my account, move that money there. See if I can figure this out some kind of way. You're trying to figure out how you can move some money around so you can buy some cereal. It says, yeah, making up to check. Oh, yeah. It's supposed to say waking up. But anyway, you wake up and check your bank account and you see that a whole bunch of money's gone and you're like, wait a minute, what happened there? you know, that's happened when you buy too many things in your cart, though. You buy things and then it takes a little while to come out because it says pending for a little while. And you're like, well, now I don't know how much money I got. Then you start spending more money and then all of a sudden you're overdrafted and you're like, what the heck? I would they just take the money out immediately. Leave me alone with that. It says, yeah, paying bills causes physical pains. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you go to a store and you see something went up and you're like, "Oh my God, am I going crazy? Like, is the prices really going up that fast and that much? Like, what in the world?" All right. So next we're gonna go into some real vibes. Real vibes by Clyde. Okay. So we're gonna talk about how inflation is rising very fast. All right. Now I don't know about you, but hey, this inflation is rising pretty fast. And it's not one of those things that you see on paper. It's one of those things that you see in real life, and you're like, "Yo, like I just bought a car 5 years ago. Now the cars are double." It's not even something that's like just in the background. It's something that you see everywhere, every day, and it's just like you can't ignore it because it's so obvious, you know.
Posted 8:35.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, yeah. I should have put it on mute. I knew I was gonna read out loud. I'm trying to use this AI reading app, and I'm just like messing it up for myself. Okay, so I'm gonna start here.
CNN. The cost of living
Okay.
got.
All right. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. A lot of things are just they're increasing really fast, and it's like right in front of your face. You know, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Like I don't even see commercials anymore about like how cheap things are anymore. I just see commercials about how expensive things are, or they just don't put the price in there. They just tell you what you're gonna get, and I'm like, okay, that was a that was a nice commercial, but like, where's the price? And you go there and it says like, and it's expensive, and you're like, oh, that's why I didn't see the price. Now it makes sense. Okay, so now we have and some real vibes here on the Vibes by Clyde. It says inflation. America's inflation is back at 3%. That's higher than normal, but not out of control. Okay, well, it don't seem like it's out of control, but it seems like it's out of control. Let's be honest, people. I mean, hey, I don't know where these people were. Who is it? This is CNN. Uh, wait, when did they post this? It says October 24th, but it doesn't. It does not say a year. Okay, October 24th, 31st, October 24th. What year? October 24th. What is it? 2025? I'm assuming it's 2025. All right. So we have. It says inflation rising slower. Okay, so they says. Okay, so they says it's not that fast, but to me, it feels fast. Anybody that's been in the store recently, it feels fast. You know, now, I don't know where they're getting this 0.3%, but I just told you about a lot of things that are way higher than 3%. You know, like, are you talking about in general? Like, because if we're talking about specifically, I know a lot of things that just went up at my corner store. You know, and you're like, that went up a lot in a short amount of time. And it's way more than 3% because I noticed it. I wouldn't notice 3%. And that's not even 3%. It says 0.3%, which I don't know. I don't know. Let's look at this data. Let's see. Okay, so it says 2023. Maybe this was an old article. I'm not sure though. It doesn't say the year. You would think it said the year. But anyway, let's read the article and see what they say.
Even more expensive for Americans last month, with prices rising at the fastest pace since the start of the year. Consumer prices rose 0.3% in September, which drove the annual rate of inflation from 2.9% to 3%, the highest it's been since January, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics data released Friday. Gas prices, which shot up 4.2% for regular unleaded fuel, their highest monthly gain since August 2023, were the biggest culprit behind the monthly increase, BLS data shows. Other WRAL top stories. Plus, food prices rose at a more moderate pace than they did in August, a month when grocery prices leapt by the highest rate in nearly 3 years. Economists were expecting that inflation would continue to pick up speed, rising 0.4% for the month and 3.1% from the year before, according to FactSet estimates. Excluding food and energy, which can be quite volatile, core CPI rose 0.2% in September, with an annual.
Okay, so now y'all talking about a lot of numbers, but I need to see what y'all talking about as far as like real life. Like, what are people feeling? Like, what do people see? You know, what do you see on your shelves? Do you see this? Do you see 3% on your shelves? No, I don't see 3% on my shelf. When I look at the shelves, I see 30, 40, 50% increase a lot of times on stuff that I buy pretty much all the time. And I know because I don't buy that many things. I buy a few things that I need, okay? Because I don't really need too many things. I really don't. So, yeah, I noticed these things.
Due to inflation, the typical American household is spending $208 more a month in September to purchase the same goods and services as they were a year ago, and $1,043 more a month than they did at the start of 2021, coming out of the pandemic, new data from Moody's Analytics showed. However, the September report is somewhat unique in its own right. It's the first major federal economic report released since the U.S. government shut down on October 1st.
All right. Yeah. So pretty much, yeah. So pretty much they're saying, yeah, it says 208 more than last month, than last year. And hey, $200 extra sounds like a lot, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I don't think a lot of people's salaries rose $200 in 1 year. Excuse me. But I don't know, man. This is the next one we're gonna talk about is where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Okay, so we just finished Real Vibes by Clyde. I had to shorten that one up because that was kind of a boring article. All right. Now we're gonna get to no we don't. We're not going to main event vibes. Give me a sec. We still have more vibes here. What are you talking about, main event vibes? We still have boss up vibes. There we go. All right, now we're getting to some boss up vibes. Hey, you boss up. You gotta boss up, man, and stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. That is the topic for our boss up segment here. You gotta boss up and stop being lazy, man. Okay? Yes, you stop being lazy. Okay? You need to stop. Okay? Stop being lazy and start being productive. Start being useful. Start creating value, try to find a way to create value some kind of way, or what's the word? Educate yourself to be knowledgeable so that you can be valuable. Okay, because hey, you need to learn how to create value nowadays because we are living in a different world. Okay, and in this world, you need to be useful. You need to be finding a way to make extra money on another type of income, some kind of way. You know, Now, hey, I don't have all the answers. Hey, I don't think I have any answers. But this guy is going to try to help you out and tell you to stop being lazy, okay? It says how to stop being lazy and unmotivated, okay? The first thing he's going to say is, where is it at? First thing he's going to say is, if you want to stop being lazy and unmotivated, dot, 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 let's see what he has to say.
Motivated. It has nothing to do with motivation or forcing yourself to work harder. Here's why most productivity advice fails. They tell you to just push through or find your why, but your brain doesn't work like that. You can't just force motivation. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. It's literally programmed to be lazy. Instead, use what neuroscientists call dopamine resetting. Here's how it works. Your brain's reward system gets completely hijacked by the modern world. So instead of trying to fight laziness, you start by fixing your brain's broken reward system. Here's exactly what to do. For the next 48 hours, do what's called the dopamine detox. Just follow these 3 simple rules. Number 1, no phone for the first hour after waking up. Use this time for journaling or a morning walk. Number 2, stay off social media until after lunch. Focus on deep work during your peak morning hours. And number 3, no YouTube or Netflix until you finish your main goal for the day. This rewards productivity instead of distraction. Watch what happens after 48 hours of trying this. Your brain naturally starts to crave real achievement instead of quick hits of stimulation. Remember, your brain will always choose the path of least resistance. Make sure that path is the one that you want your brain to actually take. Start this reset today, and within 48 hours, you'll feel a dramatic shift in your motivation and energy. That's how you build unstoppable momentum.
Okay, so I think what he's trying to say is pretty much don't reward yourself for not doing anything. A lot of people, I tell people a lot that I punish myself a lot for things. Like I go to work a lot. I said I go to work a lot. I go to work, and if something doesn't go right, during my work hours, something that I'm not happy with, something that I know I could have done better, I'm like, okay, I little tiny punishments for myself. I'm like, okay, so I can't listen to music on my way home from work. People think it's weird, but I'm like, people want to reward themselves all the time. Hey, I deserve a break. I deserve this. I deserve that. Really, you don't deserve anything. Like, what have you done to deserve this? Not much, okay? Because you weren't productive. You say you deserve something, but you don't have a why you deserve it. It's always just a I deserve it. But why? What'd you do? Like, and I'm not talking about just hey, I went to work today. Okay, you were supposed to go to work. How else were you gonna pay your bills? No, what else did you do to be productive? Like, you need to reward yourself for things that you actually do that you don't need to do. Also reward yourself Also, do stuff that people aren't watching for. You should still be productive even when people aren't watching. Now that's when you're the most productive. If you're gonna be productive and if you're gonna do things on your own to make yourself feel better, to better yourself, to better your financial situation, that's where you're gonna see the most. Where's it at? Oh, that's where you're gonna see the most. That's where you're gonna see the most value. When you purposely try to find things that you've done. You know, when you what I'm trying to say is you see, I know I'm not making sense. But what I want to say is, hey, you need to make sure you find the thing that's going to make you proud of yourself. Like, hey, I did something that I didn't have to do, something I wasn't supposed to do, but I did it for me, and it's most likely going to better my life in the future. So you should always be trying to work on yourself and try not to reward yourself for not doing anything. So you come home and you watch TV, you're getting that dopamine hit of, good things, good feelings like, oh, I deserve this, but really you don't deserve it. All you did was come home from work, you know? And some people are like, oh, my job is hard, or, my work was long, or maybe it was a long day. I don't care. You don't deserve to, you don't deserve to reward yourself yet. Okay. You deserve to reward yourself after maybe multiple days of working. Okay. But I want to see you really reward yourself for doing something outside of work. So come home from work, do something productive, and then reward yourself. You don't have to do big things, just little things. Like maybe you want to get in shape. Hey, do 10 push-ups and then reward yourself by watching TV. Read a few pages you know of a book that's about bettering your life, bettering your situation in life, and then go eat that chocolate ice cream in the freezer that you've been waiting for all day. you know. So that's all I'm saying, man. Just don't reward yourself for not doing anything. Also, I would say you should punish yourself for not doing things. Not anything dramatic, just minor inconveniences, you know. Stuff that you like, like, hey, I said I was gonna read this book. Also make sure you keep your promises to yourself. If you're like, hey, when I go home, I'm gonna read this book about financing so I can better my financial situation. If you don't go home and read that book, if you go home and you don't read that book, you need to punish yourself. You need to find something that you can't do now. If you're gonna say you're gonna go home and do something, you need to come up with like a consequence for if you don't do it. You know, like I really wanna get into better shape. I don't want to hear you say I want to get into better shape without anything else. I want to hear you say I want to get into better shape. So when I get home from work, I'm going to do 10 push-ups. And if I don't do 10 push-ups, then I can't watch the new episode of Rick and Morty. you know, if I do watch the new show, if I do my 10 push-ups, hey, I can watch Rick and Morty. So yeah, you really need to make sure you reward yourself for your good behavior, but also punish yourself for bad behaviors. And stay on it, man, because that's going to get you know, that's going to get you where you need to be. Yeah. So, go to work, entertain, sleep, repeat. That's what everybody do. That's what everybody's life. And I mean, hey, that's hard to get out that routine because that's your comfort zone. You know, you're trying to find some type of balance in your life where you won't, stress out too much. And yeah, hey, if you need a day or so to do that, go ahead. But in this inflation in this inflated economy, hey, we need to be all day, every day trying to find another way to make money. And hey, look, I don't even know how that is, but you really need to start by rewarding yourself for doing good things. Yeah, just give Netflix a break. Trust me, your future self is judging you. I remember when I was in college, I used to think like, man, if I don't graduate from if I don't graduate from here, I'm gonna be so mad at myself in the future. Like, hey, you was there, man. You was there, you set everything up, you was there, you went, you was ready, you went to class and you didn't finish. Just finish, man. Just finish what you start. It says, yeah, only you can change your life. Because hey, if anything else happens, it's on you, man. And that's a lot of responsibility. You have responsibility for yourself to be successful for yourself. Okay, so please, do what you can out here, man. Do what you can, not what you want to do, man. Do what you can do to make your life better. You know, because our future selves are definitely judging us. Okay, so this next one says, "F everything, boss up."
Fuck
you
all
know,
that complaining.
and that's true, man. Because hey, at the end of the
Boss
day,
your
you know, it's on you, man. It's on you to fix yourself and to boss up so you can be ready for this world. Because this world is only going to get harder, man. All right, so it says, boss up. Come on, man. Boss up, man. Yeah. Hey, let's do it, people. Let's do it.
all that complaining. Boss your life up, man, and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Stay out the way and boss up silently, man. Get to the money, man. Fuck everything else, man. Be on you.
Yeah. Hey, that was a quick one. But yeah, like I think the best way to boss up also is to do it in silence. Try to you know try not to uh what's the word try not to what's the word I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say, right? It's like I can't get in your brain. I don't know what you're trying to say. Try not to brag about stuff that you did not do. You know, do stuff first, and then instead of bragging, just show it. Like you don't got to say, "Hey, I'm about to go to this. I'm doing this in school. I'm doing that in school." Don't do that. Just go to school. Okay. Don't say anything. Go to school for 2-3 years straight. Don't say anything to nobody, and just show people your degree. you know, show people the new job that you got. Hey, I just got hired as this really good position. I just got hired as an accountant. You know, people gonna be like, what? Yes, I was bossing up in silence. Okay, nobody knew, but I was secretly out here bossing up, letting you guys know. I'm just letting y'all know now that I finished. Also, his TikTok is right here. If you want to follow him or like his stuff, let him know that I put him on my page. Cause hey, that's influential. That's some good advice. Forget everything, man. Just worry about yourself. When you worry about yourself, that's the best way you can do it. Only you can worry about yourself. And once you do worry about yourself and you figure it out, then you can help other people. You're in a better position to help other people. All right, so it says, yeah. So your little problems that you have are probably first world problems. Really, they are. you know. Excuse me. People complain about like little stuff. That's pretty much first world problems. Like oh my god, oh my god, like, yeah, look, I can't think of an excuse right now, but you know what I mean. Like just first world problems, like stuff that's just like little stuff, like oh my god, my boss got mad at me because I did something stupid at work. Like that's like one of those first world problems. So try not to clog up all of your brain capacity with like little stupid stuff. You will stress yourself out over these little things. Especially over people. You know, 'Cause I promise you, those people don't care about what the heck you doing or talking about. You all mad, but that person don't even care or know about you. Anyway, so grocery shopping inflation is also really a thing. Like I said, I went to the store earlier, and man, stuff just went up all the time. You go back 2 weeks later, and it's doubled in price. You're like, man, I thought that price was expensive. This price is expensive. You're like, wait a minute. I didn't want to buy it last week because I thought it went up, but this week it just went up even more. I should just bought it last week. You know. Yeah. So yeah, we all know yesterday's prices ain't today's prices. And yeah, today's prices are
This is
not going to
terrifying.
be
While
next
going
week's
through his
prices at this point. You can't even say like next year. You got to say next week, you know, because you can go in the same store next week and it's probably going to be way more expensive. And you're going to be like, what the heck, man? I mean, that happens a lot with gas for me. I'm like, I drop past the gas station and I'm like, I'm not about to pay that much for no gas. You driving past, you see, what, 315, 329. I'm not about to. I am not about to pay no 359 for some gas. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not about to buy some three. Let's say 320 for some gas. I'm not about to do that. Then you come back 2 days later and you're like, wait a minute. Now it says it's at Now it says it's at 390, and you're like, man, I should have just bought it then. I thought I was getting myself, I thought I was doing myself a favor by waiting, but no, you're just at this point you're just making it more expensive because you should have bought it sooner. All right, so it says, uh, while going through his purchase. Okay, now this is really going to make you mad again.
Purchase history on Walmart, Sewer Lid stumbled upon his grocery order from 2022 and noticed a reorder button. This made him curious to see how much those same groceries would cost today, and it's astonishing.
I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I just looked through my Walmart history, and I found this Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414. That is 4 times more. How the fuck? How? What?
This is just one example of how inflation has affected Americans. Do you have any similar stories? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, now that is crazy. Yeah, and this is what I mean by you go in the store one day, it's one price. You go in the store another day, that thing just went up 20, 30, 40%. And you're like, what in the world? I just left this store. It's almost making you feel like you're crazy. You're like, am I crazy? There's no way it went up that much. And yes, most of the time it probably did just go up that much. Like I said, they're stalking you in the store. They see you in the store. They saw you buy that at the store. And they're like, we're going to make that cost more in the store. And you're like, what the heck? I thought that I was fine. All right. So it says, did you catch this? That's his Instagram name. Let's see if some people are feeling the same things I'm feeling. Now, hey, people can get on the news and say, hey, inflation's not that bad. Hey, inflation is 0.3%. Hey, inflation is this percentage. But when you go to the store and you see how much this stuff is, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not crazy. Don't try to play me, man. I know I'm not crazy. So it says, we just noticed the same exact bag of green beans. Okay, I gotta read it here. It says, we just noticed the same exact bag of green beans had gone up $1 every 2 weeks. So that's an average of 50 cents per week. $5 4 weeks ago, $6 2 weeks ago, $7 now. Now that is terrifying. And that's for a bag of green beans. That's what I mean by you feel like you're in the twilight zone. Sometimes I go to a store and I'm like, am I crazy? I know it was not this much. And they just gaslighting us. I think the whole world is gaslighting us at this point. Cause yeah, I'm not crazy. It says the amount that you are paying for is also less when it comes to the weight of goods in comparison to before. And you're paying 3 times as more. So what they're talking about is shrinkflation, which I heard about one time, where pretty much they make the thing smaller, but it still costs the same amount, and then they start making the price a little bit higher. Like candy bars. I remember candy bars used to be a decent size. It used to really make you pretty full after eating one candy bar. And I remember specifically candy bars were 60 cents. Now, hey, don't quote me here, but I don't remember how old I was. But I know for a fact candy bars were 60 cents and they were a lot bigger. They were a really decent size, You eat one and you're pretty full. And they were really good. I'm talking about Snicker bars. But almost any candy bar though, regular sized candy bars were a different size. Now regular sized candy bars are smaller. And it's like, what? That's shrinkflation. Also, both boxes of cereal. They used to give you big old jumbo boxes of cereal. You're like, dude, this is going to last all week. Now you get a box of cereal. It lasts about 3 days. Half of the bag is air, and you're like, where did all my cereal go? I mean, I haven't eaten cereal in a long time, so I wouldn't know that one as well. I do know boxes of cereal have went up a lot, though. It says, the amount that you are paying for, okay. So we already read that one. This one says, I'm sorry, but there is no way groceries went up $300 in 4 years. And yes, I buy groceries, but I don't believe this at all. Okay, see, now that person is in denial. Because I believe that 1000%. When I see one or two things go up by 40% in a week or so, hey, I can imagine if one or two things go up 40% in like a month or so, I know for a fact that 4 years ago, that means that's like right before COVID. Yeah, that's like right after COVID. I know for a fact 4 years ago, especially if you go back to back to 2019, the prices are ridiculously different. It's like COVID just like put everything in an overdrive. you know, somebody says, "Wow, that same thing on my list went from 88 to 90." Okay, somebody else says, "And in normal countries, a weekly shop for two adults, three kids, $150 weekly, sometimes $100, or a monthly shop for $400." Okay, yeah, he said that was just for him. It's not a whole family; it's just him. So imagine you got a whole wife and kids, but you're gonna be paying like over $1,000. That's ridiculous. It says, the pandemic allowed corporations to increase prices and then keep them there ridiculously. Yeah, I do believe that uh, COVID made everything a lot more expensive. Yeah, and then yeah, people were like, yeah, we're making it more expensive because yeah, COVID. It says the stimulus coming back to bite us. Yeah, pretty much. They give us 1,000 something dollars, and they're like, yeah, they still want that money back. They give us like $1,000. What was it? $1,500, and we still paying for it. We still paying that $1,500 back, people. So that was not a stimulus check. That was a stimulus loan. Okay, they are taking their money back. Okay, it says, so I shared this on TikTok to my Facebook page, and wow, some of my Facebook friends blasted me and said they have no proof, basically, and that this is propaganda. I don't think that's propaganda. I think that's 100% true. Okay, I'm sorry. I believe it. I wish, you know what? I'm gonna open my app. Um, I'm gonna open my app. Because I did used to buy things before COVID on Walmart. I used to do that for a little while, um, or like right during COVID. And I know I still have some. I know I have some items on there. I just gotta remember my login and password. But I think I'm gonna do that when I log out, just so I can see if I can find it and see if the prices really did go up that much. But I believe them 100% because hey, these prices are going up too fast, and I know I'm not crazy. Okay, we are not all collectively crazy. This is not like the what's it called, the Mandela effect. Okay, this is real. Okay, we are all living in the same reality. We are all seeing the prices go up. They are gaslighting us to a maximum. It says, inflation hurts more than you think. Jobs aren't hiring people, and people are having to take up a second job just to pay for every item that doesn't work. Okay, so yeah, that's true. You do need two incomes, and that's why I'm telling you, you need to boss up. You need to boss up, man. You need to get this money out there, okay? Because things are getting more expensive, and they're not going to go down, okay? And also, I'm pretty sure inflation will go up way before your wages go up, okay? So if you're waiting for a raise at your job, believe me, just you got to find another way. You got to find another way, because getting a raise or getting a promotion is going to be hard. People aren't really leaving their jobs because these prices are too expensive. you know. All right, so it says it's not inflation, it's corporate greed. Blasey, 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 blasey. You can't tell me these corporations having record profit years after this is normal. Yeah, so they're saying it's price gouging. And I mean, at some point, I'm gonna have to believe it is because there's no way everything can collectively be going up at the same time, and at the same time, everything is just getting like smaller, you know. So yeah, I mean, but hey, like when you have everybody that want to make a decent living wage, you know, you kind of gotta get what you know. It's like you can have good wages and low prices, you know. So the higher you want these wages to go up, the more these prices are gonna go up. So we kind of got ourselves in a quagmire here. you know, I don't know how we're supposed to get out of this, people, but we're kind of just spiraling at this point. We are just free falling. I'm hoping it corrects itself some kind of way because, yeah, groceries. Yeah, when your necessities start going up crazy, ridiculously high, That's how you know we are headed for not somewhere good. It says, yeah, meat is a luxury now. Yeah, you go to a store, try to buy some, try to go and buy some meat. Okay. You're going to be thinking, I might as well just go out and buy the meat already cooked at a restaurant or fast food place. Okay. Because it's going to cost you way too much. It says, going to leave the store broke. Yeah. You go to the store, you're going to go to the store now and you're going to leave broke. You know, you think you're about to go in here and buy a whole bunch of stuff. No. You're about to go in here and be hungry for the next few days because you spent most of your money at that store. I hope you needed that stuff. I hope you love that stuff. And I hope some of that stuff is food. Okay. Don't get out here and spend a whole bunch of money on stuff that's not food and then expect yourself to survive for the next 2 weeks, because food is also one of those things that's just going up really, really fast to the point where, hey, you're going to be looking at, hey, how am I going to feed myself for the rest of the week if I get this one thing here? You know, it is going to start getting crazy high, you know, where you're just like, wait, do I have enough to get this? I got to make sure I have enough money to feed myself for the next 2 weeks before I, you know, go ahead and start buying stuff out the store. Because there are no more cheap options for food, okay? Once fast food started getting expensive, I was like, yeah, we're going to starve. Yeah, because you at least need food to be cheap, you know? Because once food is expensive, now you're done because we need food, okay? If you don't have any cheap food options that are also somewhat healthy, you're gonna be screwed, you know? Okay, I don't mean to laugh, but hey, that's the real one though. That's the truth. All right, so next we have, okay, one of my favorite things that I wanted to show you. It is a comparison. By 2025, you will see prices like this. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted to see. You gotta see the comment. Okay, there it is. In the next, if the next 30 years are like the last, okay. So pretty much like we were talking about with the burgers, you know. I mean, not the burgers. Like we were talking about with Taco Bell. Hey, you know, if 10 years ago a box of Taco Bell food was $5, that was 10 years ago. Now it's $10. So what is it going to be like in another 10 years? Is it now going to be $20? Is it going to be 15? It's going to be at least be $15. We already know that. But I mean, is it going to be $20? Is it going to be $25 for a box of Taco Bell? You know, price does sound crazy now, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to sound crazy in the future. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, when our grandparents were young, well, when my grandparents were young, they were like, oh my God, you know, 7 cents for a burger. It was just 5 cents last week. So they're probably looking at us like, wow, y'all spend $3 on a burger. I was spending 5 cents on a burger. Okay. Like, so that's kind of how we're probably going to look at it when we, you know, in the future. Like, what? It's only $25 for a box. You know, your kid's going to be looking at you like, Mom, get out of here. What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure, you know, a box of Taco Bell food was never $5. Okay. You could be like, no, but I swear it was. Mom, never. It could never be. Why would it be $5 when we're getting it for $25 now? You know, we're going to be those people. All right. So anyway, it says, if the next 30 years are like the last, let's see. This is going to really make you mad. Okay. It's really going to make you mad. So I apologize in advance for showing you this video that's going to make you really mad.
30 years are like the last. By 2025, you will see prices like this. Okay. An average house in 2055, what do you think it will cost? First of all, what do you think a house costs right now, average house?
I'll go $350,000.
Okay. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. So they said, what would an average house cost in 2055? Okay. So 30 years to 2055. Right now, I would say an average house costs $300,000 to $400,000. So in 2055, I would think that it would cost probably like $1 million on average. I don't know.
But the average house in 2055, what do you think it should be?
It should be maybe $600,000.
Whoa, double.
Yeah, 200% increase.
If the next 30 years are like the last 30 years, the average house will cost $1.6 million.
Yeah, no, that's painful and that hurts.
Yeah, we're on a sad decline here.
This is the truth here. Well, inflation, right?
That's not inflation. That's like astronomical inflation.
Yeah, it's bad.
How much do you think a new car will cost in 2050?
Okay, so a new car in 2055. Okay. So I think a new car now probably costs like 20, 30,000. Well, no. I think a new car now probably costs like $50,000 now. So in 2055, I would think a new car would probably cost like $100,000. Or I mean, on average, maybe like $80,000 to $100,000 for one new car.
In 2055, a new car will cost $35,000.
Okay, a new car, if the 30 years are like the last 30 years, will cost $218,165.
I can't afford that, Brian.
Which is the cost of like a very small house in New Jersey.
Oh my goodness.
Guess how
Oh my God! So 200,000 for a car in the future? Oh my God, man, we are screwed. We're all
much
screwed.
average rent will be in 2055?
Let's go.
Okay, so average rent in 2055. Okay, so I'm thinking average rent now is like 1,500, almost 2,000. I said 200, almost 2,000. So average rent in 2055. Okay, right now 1,500, maybe like 3,000 or like $4,000 a month. I would say 4,000.
$4,500.
It's going to cost $6,500 per month in 2055.
I'm trying to guess with you, you know?
How much do you think a cup of coffee will cost in 2055?
Oh, you mean a cup of Joe?
Cup of Joe, well, that you're addicted to.
$8.90.
$28 a cup.
No, that's can't be real.
It is 100% real.
Oh my goodness.
How much do you think a gallon of gasoline will cost in 2055?
Oh my God, a gallon of gas. Okay, right now it costs. I don't want to know this one. It's probably going to cost like $10 a gallon though. Goodness gracious.
Gallon of gas here in New Jersey is $3. In like LA, it's like $6 or $7. Let's go with $7 or $8.
$16 a gallon.
Yeah, insane.
And then the opposite way, guess how much minimum wage will be in 2055?
Okay, well, we all know minimum wage didn't go up much at all in the last 30 years. I think, I don't even know, like, it'd be like $10 an hour. I would say at least, I don't know. That's a hard one because I don't think minimum wage went up that much. I'm just going to say $15 an hour.
Comparatively to all these prices.
Yeah, it's not going to be as high. $35.
No, $12.36 per hour.
Across the country.
How are you going to afford a $1.6 million house? How much do you think an average household income will be in 2055?
Let's go 200. So let's go $1 million.
$92,702.
I don't know why I was trying to inflate it like you did the other thing.
No, because salary's not going up, but the price of everything is going up. That's the point here, and it sucks.
Oh my God. See, now that I told you, that's just going to make you. Oh, there it is. I told you that's going to piss you off. That's going to make you mad. Now that just made me mad. Okay. Now those are, okay. Maybe I should have kept this on Gloomy Vibes. Okay. Because this is very, very much gloomy. This is just sad. Okay. Let's see what people are saying in the comments because, hey, I mean, if that didn't make you mad, I don't know what will. All right. So it says minimum wage 2055. Well, in 2055, $7.25 an hour. Okay. Somebody says, 85-inch TV will cost $12. Okay. Well, that'll be good. You can buy as many TVs as you want. And the minimum wage will still be the same. Yeah. Don't worry. Our country will collapse before. Oh, no. I can't read the rest of that comment. Somebody says Arizona going to be vibing at 99 cents. Okay. So somebody says all this while making $20 an hour. Yeah. This is a sign to be unemployed. And this is what I mean by like, hey, it's only going to get worse, you know. Because prices are only going to go up. But the other bad part is wages are not going to only go back up. You know, it says the reason house prices rose so much is because BlackRock keep buying them for incredibly high prices so that people can't own houses anymore. Okay. Somebody else says most inflation isn't even real. It is just an excuse to raise prices every year and to make sure corporations are making more profit than last year. Yeah. Okay. Somebody says, somebody says, 350,000. I wish that was how much a house cost. Somebody else says, will I be able to afford a house? No, you won't. Nobody will be able to afford a house. Nobody. Just know that for sure. It says, these numbers show how out of control greed has become in the last 5 years. All a bunch of phony inflation that was supposed to be 7%, but instead it's 25 to 150%. I don't know where they're getting these single digit percentages or these point zero. I don't know where they're getting this stuff from. It is no way. It is no way inflation is anywhere near 0.3% or anywhere. It's not in the single digits for sure. Okay, because every time I see something marked up, it's not a single percentage. Every time I see something marked up, it's like 15, 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50% raised. And that's within months. Okay. So I don't want to hear any of this. Oh, it's just inflation. It's just a little bit of inflation. No, it's not a little bit. It's not a few percentages. It's in the double digit percentages for stuff that we buy every day. You know, I don't want to hear nothing about stuff that nobody don't buy every day. You buy food every day. That's going up all the time. You buy, what's it called? You buy stuff to groom yourself every day or almost every day, like lotion and shampoo and things like that. That stuff is going up so often, a lot, by a lot of, and I think it's also that a lot of the places, a lot of these people own the same things. I would, in my mind, I think that like, all the people that own these corporations, who specify in one thing like meats or something, I think they all get together and they're all like, okay, we all sell chicken, right? You sell chicken, we all sell chicken, right? Okay. All right. We all are going to make chicken, at least $12. Hey, can we all agree on $12? Nobody go under $12. Hold the line at $12. These people are going to pay $12. I don't think these people are going to pay $12. They will pay $12. If we all sell our chicken for $12, we can all make money. Okay. So because there's only like 4 people in there at this point. A lot of America's corporations have consolidated so much where though like it's basically a monopoly. So you only really need to get like 3 or 4 people in the same room together for y'all to all agree, okay, we're only gonna make chicken this one price. We're only we all sell soap. We all gonna make soap this price. Okay. The lowest anybody can sell soap for is this price. Okay. So yeah. you know, everybody that sells soda. Okay, we all sell soda, right? You sell soda, we all sell soda. Okay. We all sell soda. We are all in competition with each other. However, we are all going to sell let's say all the soda companies got into a room, okay? All 4 of them. Because we all know, like, hey, it's not that many people that sell these different products. You can name anything. Cups. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 companies that sell cups. But anyway, let's just say soda. Let's say 4 companies sell soda. If they all get into a room with each other one day and they all know that they're all competition, but they all want to know, but they all know they want to make money, they can all be like, hey, you sell soda, you sell soda, you say soda. Okay, we all say soda, sell soda. We are all going to charge a 20-ounce bottle of soda. The least we're going to charge for a 20-ounce bottle of soda is $4. Everybody in that room wins because we're like, hey, we're all going to sell soda for $4 at the least. That means nobody's going to sell soda for $3.50. Nobody's going to sell soda for $2.50. All soda has to cost $4. When you go to a store, guess what? Where else you going to get soda from? You going to make your own soda? No. You're going to have to buy some soda for $4. And the soda company's going to win. So, yeah, I think that's scary, when you have, monopolies on things. Or when you have a few companies that own one thing, they can pretty much dictate how much you pay. Because at that point, you have no leverage. Okay. Do you want soda or not? Okay. But you're going to have to pay $4 for it. Okay. All right. It says, okay. So it says, this is why we need financial. Okay. Yeah. We ain't going to talk about that crap right here. So it says, the economy needs to, okay. We're not going to talk about that either. Yeah, hey, these people are gloomy. Okay. These people talking about some crazy stuff on this. All right. So it says, it will never be happening because it's all physically impossible. 85% of the population will not be able to afford anything. We've already struggling much right now. We're already struggling much right now. So at these prices, without even a potential increase in pay is literally impossible. The entire country won't be able to afford anything, so they will be forced to lower the prices. Prices can't just increase forever. It's illogical. Now, that's where I'm going to have to disagree. I think that prices can rise, okay? And I think they've always been rising. Prices have always risen, okay? They've always been rising. And there's always going to be somebody who's going to pay. You know? Just because you can't afford it don't mean somebody else can afford it, okay? So you're just going to have to go without, okay? You're just going to have to be like, okay, well, I'm just not going to have to buy. I just can't buy this anymore. They priced me out of soda, you know? You can't afford soda, but some people out there, somebody out there can afford soda, and that some person is going to buy it. They would rather, I'm pretty sure they would rather, they probably rather one person buy one bottle of soda for $4 than for four people to buy sodas for $1. Okay, so like now I got to use more soda so I can feed, so four people can drink soda. No, why? We're not gonna have one person buy a bottle of soda, and it'd be $4. You know, boom. I save so much money just by selling one bottle of soda for $4 instead of selling four bottles of soda to four people. All right, and they don't even have to, you know, it don't have to be that much. You know, eventually, people love soda, so eventually, hey, they're gonna find the people that can afford the soda, and they're gonna buy soda. It's just that you aren't gonna be buying soda. Somebody's gonna buy that soda. Somebody says, "Oh, but it will," and "Oh, but it will," because they don't care if a person can't afford it. They have all the money, so they can still buy all the houses and rent. Okay, you lost me there. Okay, so this one says, except that's not how it works. Thank you. That's what I was thinking. Since nobody can afford the crap, nobody give them money no more. Um, they will lose all their money, just like us. Oh no. Okay, somebody says it is possible. We just need the wages to rise instead, or just. I mean, hey, but can we really depend on the wages to rise though? No, you can't depend on the wages to rise. If you're dependent on the wages to rise, then you putting your dependence in the wrong thing because hey, you're gonna be depending for a long time, and it's not gonna happen. You're gonna be sitting there like, when are they gonna raise wages? And they're not gonna raise wages. We've been here for 3 decades now, and they've barely risen the wages. So hey, I mean, come on, they're not gonna raise the wages for you. And I guarantee when they do raise the wages, they're gonna pass the cost on to you. Okay, so now we gotta pay our people more. Okay, so we're gonna make you pay more. You know, like, oh, we paying people more wages. Okay, so that means y'all can afford more. Y'all can buy more. It's not like they're gonna raise wages and keep the prices the same. No. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna be like, oh, it looks like y'all can afford more. Oh, I gotta pay people more, so that means you gotta pay us more. I'm just gonna pass the cost on to you. Like you think you're not gonna see that cost, but you're gonna see that cost. It's gonna hit you right in the face, and you're gonna be like, what? But yeah, I put this point in here. Eventually you need a PhD to get a minimum wage job. Okay. Yeah. Eventually minimum wage is going to be like the high pay. You know? Oh my God, you making minimum wage? Oh my God, you making a big bucks. You must got a PhD. Yeah, I just got my PhD last week. For real? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, look at you. So yeah, so eventually, yeah, pennies and small change is going to be like antiques eventually because we are not going to be able to afford that. So I got a inflation calculator in here. Here's the inflation calculator. www.bls.gov/data/inflation. I was going to click on that and see if I could do some numbers, but I'm going to skip that part. All right, now we're going to talk about hyperinflation. Now, hyperinflation is something that not a lot of these, but some third world or some other countries have experienced. I know for one for sure is, I just had it in my head. Anyway, some of these countries do face hyperinflation, and that's pretty much when inflation is just going, you know, fast. It's pretty much inflation, but just on steroids. You know, I mean, I think this the worst inflation I've ever seen in my life, where prices just increased so much, where it's just like, yo. All right, so this guy's gonna give us a little history lesson of
Ever thought about how
inflation
crazy
and what it really would
hyperinflation
be like
actually
to live
would be?
through
I'm
inflation.
reading this book
And hey, let me know if you see any
about
of
how
these
crazy hyperinflation.
things happening now. Because that would be a very scary time. And yeah, we'd totally be screwed if this ever happened to us. But anyway, he's going to talk about how inflation would look if it, how it actually looked, when it happened. So let's hear what he has to say.
Actually would be. I'm reading this book about Nazi Germany, the rise of the Third Reich, and I'm reading the section as they talk about hyperinflation. And I knew what it was as a concept, but the way they describe living through it is just nuts to me. Like, just imagine you go to the grocery store today and eggs are $3, and then you go tomorrow and they're $300, and then you go the next week and they're $3,000, and then you go the week after that and it's $3 million. Like, that is how crazy hyperinflation is. Like it's legitimately something that can destroy the wealth of an entire nation. Again, not a novel concept, but just imagine living through it, right? Like, say you're the CEO of Amazon. Of course, you have a lot of your wealth in stock. But if the dollar is devalued by 1 million trillion percent, you have just as little money as I do. We all are broke. That's just so crazy to be like, I go to the store, gas prices is $3, and then I drive back on the way home and it's $3,000. Like, nigga, that is crazy to me. That is so crazy.
Yeah, and I cannot imagine living through something like that. And once the rich people start feeling it, that's when it's about to go down. Okay, so just know, if rich people start complaining about inflation, just know it's about to go down. Like right now, we just hear a lot of poor people complaining about inflation, and a lot of rich people act like it's not happening, or they act like it's not that bad, or maybe they're like, hey, you just need to make sure you boss up so you can, hey, you need to build yourself, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and see if you can figure it out, and you should make a lot of money like me. Why can't you make money like me? You know, and I do see their point to an extent, because hey, we do have the internet, so you can make money out here on your own, and there are a lot of ways to make money out here on your own. You just have to know what you're doing. Also, in some instances, you need to know the right people, and you need to have the skill, or the what's still called you gotta have the consistency, to keep going. You can't be lazy. You gotta boss up. Stop being lazy out here, okay? But at some point, it's not. When you see rich people complain, that's how you know it's not about laziness, because rich people work hard. you know, I would assume rich people work hard, because like, how else can you make all that money unless you're scamming people? you know. So yeah. So somebody says, bro, I remember about hearing. Okay, bro, I remember hearing about Brazil during hyperinflation. It would Okay, you would go to a grocery store, and there were workers walking up to you and down the aisles while they had a sticker gun changing the prices from open to close constantly. People had to run in front of the person to try to grab an item before they changed the price. Oh no. That sounds crazy. Like, wow. So like, the price can change in seconds. And hey, I'm starting to see a lot of stores bring these little virtual tags, So we're going to be in a worse situation where you can't just run in front of the person, where, you can't run in front of the person with a sticker gun. Now they can probably change all the prices with the press of a button. So, hey, once they get that power in their hands, we are toast. We're toast. Especially if it happens during hyperinflation, because we're going to be like, okay, let me just buy this thing. You're going to pick it up. By the time you take it to the cash register, it's going to double, triple, quadruple in price. You're going to be like, what the? Bro, on the label there, it said this thing was $5. But now that I got it, and it said it's $25. Like, what are you talking about? Go back and look at the price. Now it's $25. You can be like, no, 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 no. I know for a fact it was $5. And then you're gonna go back and you're gonna look, and you're like, wow. Now it's not even $25. Now it's $37. Now it's $30. Let me hurry up and go back to the register. You go back to the register and be like, yeah, now it's $40. You've just wasted a lot of time, and now you gotta pay $40. And at that point, just leave the store, man. Just leave the store. Anyway, I hope America never goes through hyperinflation, or at least not in our At least not in our lifetime. you know. Um, but yeah, that could cause a major crash in the economy, and people just losing their minds. Also, rich people aren't used to being poor, so they are gonna they be the first ones to like start flipping tables over. I believe. Y'all think it's gonna be the poor people? No, I think it'll be the rich people. They're gonna be like, oh no way, no freaking way, man. All right, so hey, we made it to the main event. Main event. Here we go. It says, "Will prices never drop?" See, that's a weird sentence. They should have wrote that better. But anyway, will prices never drop? Well, let's see. I think that prices will never drop. In my opinion, I have only seen prices ever go up. I don't know about you, but prices have always just gone up. I've never seen prices ever go down. So, whenever I see a price up, I'm like, okay, well, that's the new price. you know, I might as well get used to it because it's not going to change. you know. Just get used to it and breathe through it. Put your card on the machine and pay for it, okay? Because it's not gonna go down. That's where it's gonna stay. All right. So yeah. So will prices ever go down? I know there's a thing called deflation, but yeah, I'm not really too knowledgeable about that, so I can't speak on it. But yeah, will prices ever go down though? I don't know.
What if
do you think?
inflation never goes back down? Prices go up and never seem to come back down. Even when headlines say inflation's cooling, your grocery bill doesn't. A chocolate bar that cost 30 cents in the 1980s now sells for over $1. Fries that were 50 cents? A few dollars today. So here's the unsettling question. What if this never ends? What if rising prices aren't a glitch in the system, but the system itself? Would wages keep up? Or would life quietly get harder every year? Let's find out what happens when inflation refuses to fade, why it's so hard to control, and what it means for all of us. But to understand where this starts, we need to ask, why do we even need inflation in the first place? Chapter 1. Why a little inflation is good. Zero inflation sounds peaceful, prices frozen, predictable, but that peace would kill the economy. If everything stopped moving, the economy would too. Money must keep circulating because one person's spending is another's income. With no price growth, companies stop investing because profits stall and customers hold back, waiting for lower prices. As demand weakens, production slows to avoid unsold goods, hiring freezes as work dries up, and the economy grinds to a halt. A touch of inflation keeps money alive. When people expect prices to rise just a little, they buy now instead of waiting, fueling growth, business, and jobs. Too little, and the system seizes up. And what follows is something far worse: deflation. Chapter 2. The danger of deflation.
Okay, see, that's what I didn't know about. I was like, I don't think I know about deflation. So this is what I mean by I'm learning now too. So yeah, pretty much they're saying that a little bit of inflation is good. Okay, so hey, we're all used to a little bit of inflation, right? Inflation it can be good because we all know that we gotta keep paying more for stuff. We already know that. Things are just gonna keep going up. But when things go up fast, that's where it kind of messes up our money because you didn't plan for for stuff to go up that fast. You're like, wait a minute, like, what the heck? Like, I didn't budget this, So that's like the guy was saying. He was like, imagine you go to a store and something's $3 and now it's $300. Like, that's how crazy hyperinflation can be, and we're not seeing anything like nowhere near anything like that now, but we are seeing things go up. It's visible. It's noticeable now, and it's only within a few weeks or so. It's not like, hey, like last year, that thing was like 30 cents less. Now this thing is 30 cents more, Now it's like, hey, last week that thing was $2 less. Now this thing is $2 more, and it's like, what in the world is going on? So, hey, that's all I want to say about that. Anyway, let's learn about deflation.
Inflation feels like a blessing until it crushes you. It's when prices keep falling and money gains value, a downward spiral that feeds on itself. When Japan's housing and stock bubble burst in 1991, property and stock values collapsed while debts stayed the same. People stopped spending to repay loans, businesses cut prices to attract buyers, and as consumers waited for things to get even cheaper, demand fell further. Profits shrank, wages were cut, and jobs disappeared, trapping Japan in years of deflation. That spiral lasted nearly 2 decades.
Wow. So deflation can also be bad because, yeah, I mean, because, hey, if nobody's buying anything, then that means nobody can make any money, you know? But, okay, that makes sense.
Japan's lost decades. It proved that once deflation takes hold, it's almost impossible to escape. Deflation shows what happens when prices fall. But what about when they rise and never drop? Chapter 3. Why inflation sometimes won't fall. When central banks raise interest rates, they're trying to slow demand for goods and services before it overheats the system. But inflation doesn't always listen. Sometimes it stalls, sometimes it fights back, driven by forces far bigger than interest rates alone. Let's break it down. Number 1, persistent demand. Demand pull inflation.
Okay, we're not going to go through all those. Let's see what they have to say about when inflation explodes. We're going to talk about hyperinflation, like the guy was talking about last time. So let's see hyperinflation. What's that about? When inflation explodes, hyperinflation. Let's learn today, people. Hey, we are getting gems here. Okay.
Chapter 4. When inflation explodes, hyperinflation. When inflation breaks free, it mutates into hyperinflation. Zimbabwe experienced it in the late 2000s. Hyperinflation is when prices skyrocket and money rapidly loses its value. The government printed money to pay its debts, but goods vanished faster than cash appeared. Prices doubled daily. A loaf of bread cost billions. People pushed wheelbarrows of money through the streets until the money itself died. Banknotes flew through the air like confetti, worthless paper reminders of broken trust. It's what happens when the very value of money evaporates. To stop chaos like...
Wow, now that sounds crazy. Imagine like your money is worth so little that like you can literally just they literally just printing it out and it's just floating down the sidewalk, in the streets, in the air, you know, and nobody even cares because it's not worth anything anyway, you know. But what's the point when I need like 300,000 of these things anyway to buy anything? Like I don't even. It's like pennies, you know. Imagine if you walk past, you know, like. Imagine if you walk past like 200 pennies on the sidewalk. You're not about to pick all those pennies up. You're gonna be like, wait, this is gonna be $2. Okay, if I pick up all these pennies, I will have exactly $2. And once I do have $2, what am I gonna buy? A bag of chips? Not even a bag of chips. You know? So yeah. At that point, you're gonna be like just looking at the bills like, yeah, I'm not about to pick up these. I'm not about to do anything with this. This is pointless. All right, so we're gonna skip ahead here a little bit. They're gonna talk about how the government fight back, and they're also going to talk about how inflation is measured. But we're just going to skip to companies and greedflation. Let's see what that's about.
It's innocent. Chapter 7. Companies and greedflation. Not all inflation comes from costs, some comes from choices. When supply costs rise, businesses lift prices to survive. But some kept raising them even after supply costs fell. Economists track this through the Producer Price Index, PPI, which is what companies pay for materials. Normally, when PPI drops, consumer prices, CPI, soon follow. But in 2022 and 2023, producer prices cooled while consumer prices stayed hot. That gap revealed something else: profit-driven inflation or greedflation. Energy and food giants like ExxonMobil and Shell posted record profits while families paid record bills. The cure? Competition, transparency, and regulation to keep markets honest when crisis turns into opportunity. After a while, you stop asking why prices rise and start wondering if they'll ever fall again. Chapter 8. If inflation never falls. Imagine a world where prices keep climbing year after year. Living costs outrun wages. Savings lose value unless invested. Loans and mortgages stay painfully expensive because central banks can't cut interest rates without reigniting inflation. High interest rates slow demand for goods and services, but squeeze the budget of families as debt piles get heavier and fixed incomes fall behind. It's a double bind: rising prices and rising borrowing costs, two jaws closing at once. If this really is our future, if prices never stop rising, how do we survive it? Chapter 9. Surviving a high inflation world. If inflation becomes the new normal, survival means adaptation. Invest in assets that outpace inflation, such as index funds, real estate, gold, or inflation-linked bonds. Index funds track the stock market's growth over time, while bonds pay interest on money you lend to governments or companies. Steadier, lower risk assets that can preserve value. And upgrade your skills as job mobility. Moving to better paying roles or industries beats small annual raises.
All right, yeah. So they said you might want to just switch jobs instead of staying at your same job to hopefully make more money.
Add a weekend gig or side business to build extra income. Cut non-essentials.
And that's what I mean by you need to make sure you boss up out here, because I think one of the ways you can beat this is by getting a side hustle. Really, I think we're all going to need some type of side hustle so we can survive through this inflation. And I don't even know how long it's going to last for, but I'm assuming it's going to last for a pretty long time because it's not showing any signs of slowing up. Okay, there's no signs of slowing up, and it doesn't look like the companies are going to make their prices any cheaper. It also doesn't look like the wages are going to go up any higher or any faster. So, in a sense, we need to boss up people. Oh man, what happened there? I'm trying to move my window, but I end up moving my camera. Yeah. So in a sense, we really need to make sure we boss up, ourselves, because hey, ain't nobody going to be out here to save us. Nobody's saving you out here. I think that's the best way to beat this inflation that we're going to see. And also, she said something about greedflation. Now, I know I wasn't crazy, okay? I'm like, there's no way these companies are still seeing this much cost to make these things. So I think there is a little bit of greedflation going on. If not a lot of bit of greedflation going on. It's definitely not a little bit of greedflation going on. I didn't even know that was a thing. See, so I just learned something today. This is what I mean by, hey, I'm bossing up with you because, hey, I'm learning too here, man. I am, I'm learning too. I'm just trying to see how it is also. All right. Anyway, so let me make sure I go to the next slide. Where's that? Okay. Oh my God, what's happening here? Okay, here it is. Oh, that's why, because I made it too small. Okay. Okay, see, I messed up again. Okay. Minor inconvenience here, people. Hey, we're going to do it live. We're going to fix this live on camera. Okay. All right. I'm trying to close out the show, but it looks like we got some minor delays. This is not when you want to have a minor delay, by the way, because I'm just trying to close out the show at this point. All right. So that is the Vibes by Clyde. Hey, please make sure you like and subscribe if you like the Vibes by Clyde. This was me, Clyde, and I am here to, hey, say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you come back later because I have more interesting and educational content coming your way. So, hey, deuces.